Ciao ragazzi, buonasera. So it's just finished, Napoli have just finished playing Roma. Before we come to that one, we'll start with the earlier game tonight. I said tonight was a pivotal night in the Scudetto race, and it's proved just that. Lazio earlier on, they lost 1-0 at home to Juventus, the reigning champions. I've got to say the game was disappointing. I was looking forward to this one, of course. Lazio having won at the Allianz Arena earlier in the season. You know, a game which both teams didn't really offer much. It looks as if they were both played a bit with fear. Before this game, of course, Juventus rested Alexandro Douglas Costa and Giorgio Chiellini. Of course, they are playing Spurs in the Champions League, so Allegri obviously had one eye on that clash. The game was settled by a goal in 92 minutes, and it was only Juventus's only shot on goal. Paulo Dybala, the Argentine, finished it into the top corner. Bit of build-up play on the edge of the box. The ball bounced through perfect for him, and he just slotted it away. That is Juventus for you. They can play ugly. They don't have to be at their best. They always get the job done, and you can never write them off. A bit of a controversial moment though on 62 minutes. Milinkovic-Savic, the Lazio striker, looked as if he was fouled in the box by Andrea Barzagli. Now, I don't think personally Barzagli got the ball. What did surprise me though, that given all the appeals, is that the ref and the fourth official didn't even go to the VAR. Now, we're not saying that the referees are biased or in Juventus' favour, despite the past and the match fixing scandals. But it does say if this was any other game, they'd have gone to the VAR. Wasn't even considered. The appeals were waved away. Apart from that, though, in the game, Lazio didn't really create much. You know, they were the home side. They had so much possession, but they just couldn't get it to penetrate at all. Not many shots on target. Juventus' only shot, like I say, being the 92nd minute goal for Paulo Dybala. That got the job done. So, with the Bianconeri, the reigning champions, doing their job, it then led to the game at 7:45 kickoff, which was Napoli against Roma at the Stadio San Paolo. Now, of course, Napoli beat Roma at the Olimpico earlier this season. I've got to say, I had this down as a home win. In this one, like I say, Napoli, of course, they were out without captain Marek Hamsik. He was missing due to flu. Like I say, Roma made 3 changes. De Rossi, Dzeko, Florenzi came in at the expense of Bruno Perez, Patrick Schick and Pellegrini, of course after last week's 2-0 home defeat to AC Milan when we were there. Like I say, the game, if you thought Lazio and Juventus was dull, this game started on the very front foot. I mean, after 70 seconds, Diego probably had a header which he put over the box. We didn't have to wait long for a goal. Lorenzo Insigne gave Napoli the lead on 2 minutes. His shot deflected off Kostas Manolas into the Roma goal past Alisson. But Roma hit back almost instantly. A long ball into the box. Cengiz Sunda fighting off his defensive counterpart from Napoli. His shot deflected. It looped over Pepe Reina into the goal. After that, it was end-to-end stuff. Both teams really went at each other. They were both pushing forward. It was like we had 2 games going on. Roma, though, they then took the lead, though. It was a cross from Florenzi on 25 minutes. Edin Dzeko rose and he headed past Pepe Reina, helpless in the Napoli goal. Alisson, though, made several saves from Dries Mertens and Lorenzo Insigne to keep it at half-time 2-1 to the Giallorossi. Like I say, that first half was definitely action-packed, that's for certain. The second half was a bit of a slow to start with. On 15 minutes, of course, Callejon, he fired a chance over for Napoli after Dries Mertens' effort was blocked. You know, Napoli huffed and puffed, but I think the real big change, of course, 65 minutes, Marek Hamsik came on for Napoli. Now, you thought, well, that changed the game. It didn't, unfortunately. On 72 minutes, Edin Dzeko made it 3-1 to Roma. On the edge of the box, he curled past Reina. And like I say, the whole Stadio San Paolo was silenced. They couldn't believe it. You know, Napoli had won 10 straight wins before tonight, and they just capitulated. It got worse. It was then made 4-1 later on 78 minutes. Diego Perotti curling in the box. Napoli in the second half just collapsed. They crumbled. We've not seen this, 10 straight wins. The only team to beat Napoli this year was Juventus. So we were surprised by that. Dries Mertens, who I've got to say had a really off night. He did pull one back though in the 91 minutes for Napoli, but it was Roma who upset the balance. I didn't give Roma any hope of getting anything at the San Paolo tonight, and they turned the game on its head after going 1-0 behind after 2 minutes. We'd have thought the floodgates would have opened. Napoli would have absolutely probably won 3 or 4-0 and probably more. But you've got to give credit to Roma and Alisson, the goalie, the Brazilian. You can see why he'll be their number one choice at this summer's World Cup. You can see why Liverpool and other clubs are watching him, that's for certain. So, where does this leave the Scudetto race? Well, of course, if Napoli had won tonight, it would have kept more pressure on Juventus, but now you say it's probably advantage Juventus. Of course, they have Atalanta to play in hand. Of course, the two meet then at the Allianz Arena in April, which I think it's inevitable that will be a title decider now. Napoli can only hope that Spurs do them a favour, or possibly the Champions League will be a distraction for Juventus. You know, earlier in the week, of course, former Roma defender Vincent Candela said if Sarri doesn't win the title, he'll have failed just like all the other coaches to tackle at top of Juventus. You know, are we looking at 7 straight Scudetto? After this night, you'd have to say it is advantage Juventus. But how do Napoli respond? You know, that's only their second defeat all season. They only conceded 2 goals in 2018, and then tonight they've let 4 go. It's how they respond next week, that's for certain, so we will see. So tell us what you think. Like, comment below. Have Napoli blown their Scudetto chances? Are Juventus back in now? Is it advantage to them? What did you think of the game tonight? Roma, so bad last week. Why could they not produce this last week against AC Milan at home? Don't forget to subscribe to Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. And tomorrow, of course, we're going to be bringing our build-up to the Derby della Madonnina, the Milan derby, AC Milan versus Inter. We'll have our reaction after the game. Buonanotte tutti, arrivederci, ciao.